Okay, so I'm back and I'm running out of intro openings, so yeah. If you have no friends, then this video will definitely make you sad and you cannot relate to it at all, so yeah, fun fact. So, we have Friend Slop games. Grab your glasses, Bill and I breaking it down. So, Friend Slop games. What does it mean? Friend, a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection with. Slop, wastewater from a kitchen, bathroom, or chamber pot, aka just some And then you have video games. It's basically, you know, a game played electronically, manipulated images produced by a computer, program, or television screen, or other display. But if you combine all those definitions together, you have you have an electronically displayed, low-quality games made to be played with friends. But that definition is, I mean, it's relatively accurate, but that's mainly if we combine each of the individual definitions. If you go into like the actual, like what most folks consider Friend Slop games to be known as, they're typically just games with simple mechanics, simple graphics, nothing stunning, but like they reach their peak reference. They reached their peak because, like, you know, playing with friends, those funny, wacky moments. Like Repo, I got that game with friends. Wanna know why? TikToks. Mage Arena, TikToks. You know, Lethal Company looks fun. You know, it's like it wasn't just because the game looked so cool. It was the fact that I will see people have fun. Like, hold on, I want to try it out. You might be thinking, okay, buddy. So why, you know, why are we here? Why are you just milking content? Yes, but I'm here to propose a fairly question, right? And that question is the amount of Friend Slop games good, or do they pose a threat to the gaming community, right? And if you're not really sure what is considered Friend Slop, even after the definition I gave, you might be thinking, okay, what is it exactly? Consider games like Repo and Peak. Those are some new ones, or also Mage Arena, another new one. But if you want some old ones, like old gen ones, you have Gang Beast, Stick Fight, games like that, right? Games that, again, like, you know, mechanically and like graphical and overall altogether, they're not some really rare, cool, complex game. They're really simple, but the simplicity plus the co-op like aspects of it just makes it fun to play with your friends. So with that out the way, all these Friend Slop games, right, that's what they're deemed. Not all of them are actually slop. I feel like when you think of slop, you typically think of, like, you know, lower quality, like shit games. But in this case, Friend Slop isn't necessarily like bad slop. It's just the fact that, you know, I'm gonna go deeper into it, but it's kind of like, you know, just like, it's not bad, but it's like, you know. But yeah, like these games are all plagued with a curse, and that curse is longevity. Now by that I mean, if you look at a lot of these, like, you know, mainly co-op reliant games, they don't last long, which, don't get me wrong, eventually all games are bound to lose their fun, right? But these games, since they really rely on co-op, like a lot of the times the gameplay is repetitive, it's not like hard, it's not nothing like super cool that keeps you interested, right? They're based around friends, so if your friends get bored of the game, then that game is just cooked. It's just gonna be another dead weight in your library. But if a group doesn't get tired of it, it could, like, you know, again, all these games could die after one session, or they can go for like a million sessions. Ideally, probably not, but they could, ideally. Yes, now, like I was saying a little earlier about the whole issue with like the question, another issue is it better for devs to work on games that are primarily built for an explosion of attention than die out, or work on more fleshed out games? However, before someone starts typing, I'm gonna reply to it either way, but before you start typing anything, I do want to say, I know for a fact we will always have devs that are working out on more fleshed out games, and just because a dev releases a Friend Slop type of game doesn't mean that, one, that they don't got something better coming. Like, you know, they could, like, a lot of these games are simple, so they could have just made it as a side thing, right? And two, that they intended it being that way. Like, you know, imagine you have an idea, you make it, and it turns out to be Friend Slop, right? It wasn't your intention. It's a difference between just making something purely for it, and again, some people just have ideas, they make it, and it's like that for me. I mean, like, if a game's like $10, you know, I really wouldn't mind spending that much money on it, because most of the time the gameplay does lead to a nice couple of hours of fun, right? Which, I mean, is that not the point of hopping on the game? You know, I feel like we all hop on the game to have fun, right? But again, my thing is, you know, it's like, is it really worth it, right? Because in my personal experience, for whether the game is cheap, free, or expensive, if I play with my homies, we have fun. Like, even if the game is actually boring, I feel like you can say that, like, unless your friend group is actually shit, but you guys could basically turn anything to, you know, fun, you know? So my thing is, like, we buy these games, right? And you gotta ask yourself, are you spending money for a valid reason? Like, are you spending money wisely, or are you just chasing a short high that would just lead to more dead weight in your Steam library? So for this video script, I did a little calculations, right? If I was to refund or just get the money back for every game I bought purely for co-op, right? Whether it's Friend Slop or not, every game I bought for co-op that I didn't get a decent amount of playtime in, like all of these are under 10 hours. And what you can argue, like what about it's 9 hours, 8 hours? I mean, yeah, it's kind of long, but to me, I just did it for under double digits. So if I refunded all those games, I would have $56.94. Those are all the prices of the games when I bought them. Those are not current prices or prices. They're not current prices or like on sale prices. If a new game drops and it goes on sale, I can buy it. A singular game, I will get more hours than all the games that came up to that price combined. Now, of course, you can argue, well, dog, that's quite literally just you having a lack of financial management, which is not fully true. I be financing my finances. And you might be thinking, this video right here, it's a waste of time. You might be right. But honestly, I just wanted to yap about the more co-op, kind of like co-op fun games blowing up, then they die out. Like I said, I'm trying to propose the question just to get you thinking, like, these games, are they really worth it? Again, like I said, Repo, I had a ton of fun on that. Peak, I had fun on that. Overall, all the games I did buy that I can say that I felt like I wasted money on, we had fun on it. I'm not going to deny that it wasn't. Even if it was only one session or it barely lasted, we had fun in the long run. Is it really worth it? Again, you're spending money, which, of course, when you're spending like $10, well, it depends on who you are, of course, but if you're spending $10, it may not seem like a lot to you, but when you're spending 10 on multiple games that die out in like a month or two, it starts building up. And then at a certain point, now your little measly $10 investment is now about like $100, $200. Like, some people out there will buy so many games with friends and don't play them. I know for a fact someone out there has at least $1,000 spent. That's on the low ball, right? So my thing is, I'm just proposing a question for you guys. Yes, you watch this right now. Yes, you. Yeah, you. But again, before you buy your next game, even if it's not slop, just think about it. One, are me and my friends going to play this game? And are we going to play it a lot? And I don't mean one session, because some games, you have it in your library, you revisit it months later. But again, it's like, is it really worth it at the time? Or think about, alright, what games do we already have? And for developers, again, like I said earlier, I'm not saying that folks aren't working on fleshed out games. I'm not saying that folks aren't just making games they like and they turn out to be Friend Slop, right? Because again, it happens. But ultimately, I know it might be a little discouraging, because imagine you're working on some whole good-ass, fully fleshed out, super cool game, and then fucking piss and pee simulator with your friends blow up. I'm not gonna lie, I would be discouraged too, like, holy hell, right? Like, it's kind of like Roblox, it'll be like some super cool, fleshed out games, no attention, then it'll be some bullshit like Girl Garden. No hate to Girl Garden, but I just want to say, again, ultimately, just do what you want to do. And I know this whole video is targeting like those co-op games, but honestly, just make what you want to make. Like, even if it flops, it doesn't matter, as long as you have fun. Of course, you don't want to see nothing flop. It's like YouTube videos. I hate when my videos flop, but I mean, recently I've been going on a balling streak. I feel like at the end, it was like 6 minutes when my script part ended, so I had to go off the rails to yap more. But again, just do what you want to do. If you want to buy it, buy it. I don't really care. I just want to yap about a little funny topic that I feel like might get some clicks. So if you made it this far, leave your own comments below. Any comments, even if it sounds like, Dear Laurier, okay, I messed up. Dear Sir Laurier of the renowned POS, this video is shit, but good day. But if you made it this far, thank you for the support, for watching the video. Thank you to any of my current subscribers or new subscribers that will end up watching my other videos. If anybody's watching this and you like my content and you want to see me play games again, I used to be a regular gaming channel, but then I started doing all this commentary shit. I mean, it just started, it started actually getting views and all that. And my thing is, look, you gotta build a fan base before you can really start doing anything. So it was like, cool. Like, subscribe, and comment if you haven't already, and thank you for the support. And let's go all spend more money on some Friend Slop games,